Om Sri Sai Ram. We are discussing the chapter on applications of derivatives. We began with rate of change, followed by increasing and decreasing functions. And in the previous session, we have discussed about tangents and normals. Moving further, today we are going to discuss about approximation. What this approximation actually means. What do you mean by that? In order to understand it, let us try to look at this particular diagram. We have a function whose domain is a subset of real numbers. Any function, let us say y equal to f of x, we have a function. So, this is the graph of that particular function. The green line is the graph of that particular function drawn. In differentiation, we have studied that if we make small change in the independent variable x, simultaneously there is change in the dependent variable y. Let us say x has changed by a small factor called delta x. So, x became x plus delta x. Simultaneously, y, which is a dependent variable, becomes y plus delta y. Remember that if we consider them as points x, y and x plus delta x comma y plus delta y, both are neighborhood points. But in order to understand the concept, we have shown in the diagram as if they are very far. They are not far. They are very, very close. Okay? So, one is representing P, another is representing Q. We have joined it. When you join 2 points on a curve, it is called secant. We have seen this in mean value theorem also. So, PQ is a chord. And then a tangent is drawn at P. Remember, this is a tangent which is drawn at P. Yesterday we have studied about tangents. How do you find slope of a tangent? The slope of the tangent is the derivative dy by dx. In this diagram, we can say that Rs is equal to dy and Ps is equal to dx. Perpendicular by base will give us the slope of the tangent. So, Rs by Ps, if we do, we will get dy by dx. We do not need to do that, but just for our understanding. Now, look at this secant. What is the slope of secant? How do you know? How do you get? Recollect the mean value theorem. Whenever you have 2 points, the slope is given by y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. So, what is the slope in that case of this secant? It is y plus delta y minus y. Y plus delta y minus y, when you do, you get delta y, and x plus delta x minus x will give you delta x. So, delta y by delta x is the slope of secant. Remember, these things are connected to tangent. Tangent, let us say, we call it L, let us say tangent L. And then we are talking about the secant PQ. In terms of secant PQ, PS is what? It is delta x, and QS is equal to delta y. We are trying to understand what approximation is what. What is it all about? We are trying to understand it. Now, look at the diagram. we said PS is delta x, and we also said PS is dx. When we are talking in terms of tangent, we said PS is dx, and when we are talking in terms of secant, we said this is delta x, whereas RS we called it dy, whereas from here till this point this is delta y. Carefully you observe, you find that delta x and dx are equal, whereas delta y and dy are not equal. But what are they actually? Delta x and delta y are small increments in x and y. Write it down for your understanding. Delta x is small increment in x, whereas delta y is small increment in y. What is d of x? It is differential of x. And what is dy? It is differential of y. So what do we find? We find that differential x is equal to delta x, but differential y is not equal to delta y. When these 2 points get very, very close to each other, what will happen? The gap which you are finding, it will become shorter and shorter, and then we can conclude that the delta y is approximately equal to dy. Dx is directly equal to delta x, but dy is not equal to delta y. They will become approximately equal to each other when these points P and Q come closer to each other. Go back to the first derivative, or the derivatives which you have derived initially in 11th standard. We used to say that if y equal to fx is a function, y plus delta y will be equal to f of x plus delta x. In order to find derivative of any function, we were following this particular rule, and it was known as first principle method. So according to this, we were subtracting, let us say, first equation from second equation, and we were getting delta y is equal to f of x plus delta x minus f of x. Next step used to be we divide both sides with delta x. And then when we proceed that delta x is tending to 0, we know that this left hand side, this becomes dy by dx. And if you get that delta x this side, it will be delta x equal to f of x plus delta x minus f of x. And then we come to a formula with the help of this relation, which will help us to find out the approximate values of various functions. What is the formula which you are going to get? You are going to get a formula for f of x plus delta x. So what will be the formula for f of x plus delta x? F of x plus delta x is equal to dy by dx into delta x plus f of x. Just by using this formula, we will be able to find out the approximate values of various functions. In order to understand this concept further, let us solve some problems. Let us go to the first problem of the exercise. he says using differentials, find the approximate value of under root of 25.3. This is the first problem, first bit. There are 15 bits of problems, but in all problems, the method which we are going to follow is going to be the same. We know that we want to find out square root. So the given function is a square root function. So write the function on your own since we want to find out. So we will say let y is equal to root x. Why root x? Because there is square root we want to find out. If we are to find out cube root, we will say y is equal to cube root of x. If we are to find out 10th root, we will say y is equal to 10th root of x. So depending upon the problem, we will write the function. So we wrote that, and invariably in all the problems of this chapter, you know that you are going to find out dy by dx. So here itself we find out what is dy by dx, which we are going to use it 1 by 2 root x. Now, we need to know what is x. We also need to know what is delta x. Look at the problem. 25.3 is very close to 25, whose square root you know. So, we can assume that x is equal to 25 and delta x is equal to 0.3. Remember, this delta x which we are taking need not be always positive, it can be negative also. If it is negative, we will take it with negative sign. If it is positive, we don't mention the sign. So we know x, we know delta x, we also know dy by dx. We need to know dy by dx at x equal to 25. So what is that? Dy by dx at x equal to 25 is equal to 1 by 2 root 25, or in other terms 1 by 10. Now simply apply formula. What is the formula? The formula was, so x is this, delta x is this. So we can say that f of x is equal to f of 25 and the formula is f of x plus delta x is equal to f of x plus dy by dx into delta x. F of x plus delta x is the square root function. So if you take f of x as square root of 25, f of x plus delta x if you take f of x as square root of 25, f of x plus delta x will be square root of 25.3, which we want to find out. Since we want to find out, substitute in this. So we will say square root of 25.3 is equal to square root of 25 plus dy by dx, that is we got 1 by 10, into delta x. What is the delta x value? 0.3. So this is 5 plus 0.03. Answer is 5.03. This is the value of square root of 25 by 3 by using approximation. So in the same manner, as the numbers keep changing, we keep changing the values and we get the answer. Let us move to the fifth problem of the same first. Instead of first bit, now we are taking fifth bit. It is 0.999 to the power 1 by 10. See, you have learned how to find square roots in 8th standard, and you can find out square roots. When it comes to cube roots, we have difficulty. Now imagine here we have to find out 10th root. So there is no algebraic method we have learnt in lower classes by which we can find out 10th root. Yes, you can always find out by using logarithms or by using calculators. But if you have to find out on our own, this approximation comes to our rescue. So how do we proceed? Look at the problem. The problem, we want to find out 10th root. So what is the function? We will take the function as y is equal to x to the power 1 by 10. Why 1 by 10? Because 10th root. In the previous problem it was square root, so the power was 1 by 2. Find out dy by dx 1 by 10 x to the power 1 by 10 minus 1, or in other terms x to the power minus 9 by 10. That is the derivative. Invariably you have to find out derivative for any problem, right from rate of change, increasing decreasing functions, tangent normal, anywhere, any problem of this particular chapter you will be finding out derivative. So we have found out derivative. Now we have to assume terms. Look at the problem 0.999. You can see that it is very close to 1. So we can assume that let x is equal to 1. If x is 1, what should be delta x? It is 0.001. Because from 1 if you subtract 0.001, you are going to get 0.999. So we got x, we got delta x. And what is f of x here? What is x here? 1. So it is 1 to the power 1 by 10. And what is f of x plus delta x? It is delta x is minus, remember. Why? From 1 we have to subtract this to get 0.999. If you take plus, it will become 1.001. Our question is 0.999. So delta x is negative. So put the negative sign. So this can be written as 0.999 to the power 1 by 10. Now since we have all the values, write the formula and substitute. What is the formula? The formula is f of x plus delta x is equal to f of x plus dy by dx into delta x. This is square root of 0.9, not square root, 10th root. 10th root of 0.999 is equal to 10th root of 1, because x is 1, plus dy by dx we have found out, but we have to substitute the value. Value of x is 1 to the power 9 by 10 into delta x. Delta x is minus 0.001. Simplify it. Any root of 1, we know it is 1 only. Plus into minus, you can write it as minus. 1 to the power anything is again 1, and when you divide this with 10, it will going to become 0.0001. One more 0 got added. From 1 you subtract it. What you are going to get? You are going to get 0.9999. So this is the approximate value of 10th root of 0.999. So you have observed that the method which we followed is same. Formula is same. Only the values of x and delta x keep changing, and the function keeps changing according to the problem. So even though there are 15 such problems, all are very, very simple. You just need to practice. We'll just take one more problem before we close this particular session and find the value. And the problem is the 15th problem. of the first 15th bit of first problem. And what is the problem? He says it is 32.15 to the power 1 by 5. Now, without any hesitation, you can tell what will be the function. The function will be, we will assume that let y is equal to x to the power 1 by 5, because we want to find out fifth root. Find out dy by dx 1 by 5 x to the power minus 4 by 5, because you are going to get 1 minus 1 by 5. So, it is minus 4 by 5. Now, guess what should be x, what should be delta x. Look at the problem. It is very close to 32. So, we assume that let x is equal to 32. If it is so, what will be delta x? 0.15. What will be f of x? F of x will be 32 to the power 1 by 5. And what will be f of x plus delta x? That will be 32.15 to the power 1 by 5, which we want to find out. Once again, we know all the values. So, simply write formula, substitute the values, you will get the answer. What is the formula? F of x plus delta x is equal to f of x plus dy by dx into delta x. F of x plus delta x is nothing but 32.15 to the power 1 by 5 is equal to 32 to the power 1 by 5 plus dy by dx 1 by 5 x, substitute the value of x, x is 32 to the power minus 4 by 5 into delta x is 0.15. Simplify it, 32 to the power 5. 32 can be written as 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 or 2 to the power 5. 2 to the power 5 to the power 1 by 5, it will give you the answer 2 plus 1 by 5. Same 32 to the power 1 by 5. Forget about minus 4 for some time. Just take it as 32 to the power 1 by 5, which is nothing but 2. 2 to the power minus 4. The 2 to the power minus 4 can be written as 2 to the power 4 in denominator into 0.15. Simplify it. It is 2 plus 2 to the power 4 is 16. 16 into 5 is 80. 0.15 by 80. Remove the decimal. Simplify it. 5 3s are 5 1600. It is 2 plus, divide 3 with 1600. Approximately. So, the answer is 2.001. So, in this manner, we can find out the approximate values of any roots of any numbers by using derivatives. Continuation of this in the next session, we will be seeing how in different situations this approximation can be of some help. For example, a situation when you are measuring something, let us say you are measuring the length of a room. In general, we measure, but when you want to do it very precisely, you will use scientific instruments to do that, and then you may come across that while measuring the length, there was a small error. The error may be very, very small, but when you want to use it for a greater purpose, you find that that will become a huge difference. Those errors can also be calculated by using approximation. So, we will see the problems of this nature in the next session. But otherwise, we come to a close of the introductory part of approximation. Thank you. Sai Ram.